I'm slipping away from you. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris Lee, owner of United Destiny, singer, songwriter, producer, professional audio engineer. Now, check this out. About 2 years ago, I actually did a video for you guys kind of explaining what do you need to have like a good home recording studio, a good how to start a home recording studio setup and all that kind of stuff. That video is still up, so make sure you go check that out. It's about 2 years old. Well, what I'm going to do with this video is kind of more explain deeper into detail about some of the things that you'll need to have a good recording studio, whether that's a facility or home. What do you need to have like a good recording to make good recordings, whether that's facility, professional facility, or at home. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into that. This is a learning process for me and other professionals. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not a 20-year guy yet, definitely not there yet, but I'm learning every day, so I'm going to get straight to it. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about, something that's really important to have in any recording studio in general, is a computer. Whether that's Macs, whether that's PCs. The computers are used for a lot of different reasons, for recording inside of the DAWs that you have, such as Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton Live, even making beats with beat programs such as Fruity Loops and Reasons and all that other stuff. Okay, it's also used to transfer information. If you're recording analog and stuff like that, there's a lot of different things that you can do in professional facilities. Say if you track a session on analog tape, using analog tape, you can take that same session and dump it into your computer so that you know it's safe. You can go home and do edits and mixes and do whatever you want to do to it at home. Even for home recording studios, let's start there first. Home recording studios, that's one thing you definitely need, is a computer. To be able to record any tracks, you got to have a DAW, you got to have a recording software, whether it's Cool Edit Pro, whether it's Adobe Audition, Pro Tools, Logic, Studio One, whatever that recording software may be. That's what you're going to need to be able to even track vocals and stuff inside of a DAW recording program. Now, that's very key. Whether you're working with a PC or a Mac, it doesn't matter. They're very good computers. I use 3 Macs total, 2 MacBook Pros, 1 iMac, and a PC. I like them both equally. A lot of people have their own different opinions about them, and that's fine. I'm just telling you from my point of view. If you can't really afford a Macs, because I know that they kind of get expensive and you're kind of working on a budget, then go ahead and get you a PC. But when you get you a PC, kind of save your money until you're ready to invest in like some good equipment. Don't go out and buy cheap stuff, low class cheap stuff, and expect it to perform as well as high class, high dollar, high end gear. If you go out and buy a computer, make sure that it has, fast processing speed. Make sure that it has a lot of RAM. Make sure that it has a lot of memory. If you do that, also make sure that you buy external hard drive. On top of that, you can even buy an extra internal hard drive and actually add it inside of your computer, just to improve the performance of the computer for any of your DAWs. Like I said, whether that's Logic, Pro Tools, or whatever that may be. So that's one important step. The second important step is actually getting you a good, let's go into some gear, a good microphone. There's all kind of different microphones, from condensers to ribbon mics to tube mics to dynamic mics. They're all different kind of microphones out there. You need to be able to do your research and figure out what you're buying and why you're buying it. Don't go out and just buy a microphone because you say, hey, somebody told me I needed a microphone, so I'm just going to buy one. Buy what you're looking for. If you're looking for some to record drums, and you want to use, say you want to record like a snare top, snare bottom, a good microphone that's really good to use but really cheap, is a SM57. It's been an industry standard microphone used for, I mean, over a decade. I mean, just from the beginning of the time, a SM57 has been an industry standard for recording like snare tops and stuff like that. It's a microphone between like $50 and $100 or something like that. Or probably they probably be $50 each right now. Um, so you go buy you a couple of those. You can mic up snare top, snare bottom, and it has a nice dynamic sound that you need to actually uh, get a nice quality sound, SPL sound from that actual microphone to be able to get a good snare sound or accurate snare sound. Um, Other different kind of microphones, such as condenser microphones, they require 48 phantom power. Um, they're very good microphones. They have a very, very good transient response. Those microphones are just more for the better quality to be able to pick up almost anything, any kind of sound that you have around them. They're very good for vocals and clarity. And I mean, those microphones right off the back, they're going to cost you a little bit more, but it also depends on what you're looking for and how much you're willing to spend. They have some decent condenser microphones that run anywhere from $100 to $200, and that's decent. That's decent. And if you want to start actually getting better microphones, then you need to start spending a little bit more money. As far as the condenser microphones, they even have microphones such as Neumann. You know, they have MXLs, they have Audio Technicas, they have AKGs, they have plenty of different microphones that you can use to actually start a home recording studio or using your professional facility. But like I said, it all depends on what you're doing, what you're recording, and what kind of sound you're actually trying to get out of your recordings. So that's as far as microphones. Do your research, figure out why you're buying microphones. Make sure that you pay attention to the spec sheet. Anytime you go on a website to buy a microphone, look at some of the specs. I know some of you beginners don't know a lot about the SPLs and the pads and 48 phantom power and all that kind of stuff, but do your research and you'll find out. Um, Another real key important thing is an interface. And if some of you guys don't know what that is, here's one right here. This is the Inbox Family 2 Digi-Design interface, 48 phantom power to engage condenser microphones. Has two mic inputs in the back. It has spitter for digital recording. You got MIDI. You got the mono outs for your speakers. I mean, this thing ran me, I think, about $500 or something like that when I bought it. Came with the software Pro Tools LE at the time. I don't necessarily use this one anymore, but it's definitely a great one. It's still used. Industry standard in a lot of different, you know, recording studios, whether it's professional or home recording studios, is definitely a nice piece of gear to have in your recording studio. Um, a little bit about the audio interfaces. The interface is just pretty much used to transfer that signal that you're putting through the microphone through here to your computer, whatever your DAW might be. Um, a lot of things about one thing that's really key about any of the gear that you buy in general is the components, the quality of the gear and the components. Anytime that you pay a little bit money for a decent, you know, interface, mic, speakers, whatever, you're gonna get decent quality because it has decent components in it. But anytime you pay high end dollar for professional, top of the line industry high end gear, uh, the components inside of those gears, they are pretty expensive. They cost a lot of money, and the better the components are, the better your material would actually be when you're actually recording. So that's something to keep in mind. The thing about the audio interfaces, those as well, they have different kind of, you know, different kind of interfaces, whether you want one input, two inputs, or eight inputs. it all depends on what you're trying to do. If you're a beginner, I recommend you actually just buying an interface with at least two inputs. Um, and if you're really on budget and you're just getting started, then just buy an interface that you're able to sit and learn some things on. Don't go out and spend $1,500 on an interface, audio interface, and you don't know exactly what you're doing. I don't recommend that. Do your research, do your homework, figure out exactly what you're doing. Um, I mean, they they range from anywhere from $150 and up. So starting off, we got the computer, microphone, recording interface. Next thing that you'll need is a set of headphones. I mean, good headphones will work. There's all kind of different headphones out there, and studio headphones. I'm not talking about no little iPad, one ear mono kind of headphones. I'm talking about some professional headphones. They run anywhere from, you know, I would say if you want to get anything decent, I would try to spend at least $150 up and up. I know a lot of people are trying to go with the Beats by Dre's and stuff like that. I don't necessarily recommend it. If you just want to jam out to some music when you're going to the gym or something, cool. But as far as having it in a recording studio and using it to mix vocals and sessions and stuff, me personally, I don't recommend it. Um, Other kind of things that you'll need, definitely, it depends. If you're a producer and you like to make beats, you're gonna need MIDI keyboards, MIDI controllers. They got all kind of different controllers and keyboards out there. They have some that come with a bunch of sounds. Say, for instance, uh, the Phantom G8. I think it runs almost $5,000, and it comes with a bunch of sounds already inside of it. Then you got little cheap MIDI controllers, and not all of them are cheap, but there's MIDI controllers that don't come with sounds, period. Any sounds, period. They just actually are controllers that you plug into your computer, USB, to be able to control any of your recording software or beat making programs such as Reasons, Fruity Loops, and Pro Tools and Logic, and whatever that may be. Uh, those range anywhere from $100 and up. I have one called the M Audio Oxygen 49 for my MIDI controller that I strictly like to use to make beats inside of Pro Tools, Logic, whatever. Any of my DAWs or beat making programs, whatever that may be. Um, I mean, that's key. If you're a step right kind of person, and what step right means is just like if you're trying to make a beat inside of a program and you're the kind of person who likes to do a lot of clicking and stuff like that, then that's cool. That's fine. I mean, if that's what you like to do, then you go ahead and do that. But if you're the kind of person that likes to actually play the keyboard or whatever, then buy your MIDI keyboard and be able to play your keys. Just hit record on the program, set your click on your metronome, and be able to record. Start making beats. You're in the making. You're in the progress. You're on the right track. You're doing everything that you need to.
I drop to my knees.